The special meeting of the Cook County Forest Preserve District Commissioners will come to order. Will the Secretary please call the roll?
Commissioner Beavers? Here. Commissioner Butler is absent. Commissioner Collins is absent. Commissioner Daly? Here. Commissioner Fritchie is absent. Commissioner Gaynor? Here. Commissioner Garcia? Here. Commissioner Gorman? Here. Commissioner Goslin is absent. Commissioner Murphy is absent. Commissioner Reyes? Here. Commissioner Schneider? Here. Commissioner Silvestri is absent. Commissioner Sims is absent. Commissioner Steele? Commissioner Suffredin is absent. Commissioner Tobolsky? Here. Madam President, you have a quorum.
Thank you very much. Will Commissioner Garcia please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisibly, indivisibly, as opposed to indivisible. All right. Will the Secretary please read the call of the meeting into the record?
Tony Preckwinkle, President of the Forest Preserve District of Cook County Board of Commissioners, has directed me to call a special meeting of the Forest Preserve District of Cook County Board of Commissioners on Thursday, October 18th, 2012, at the hour of 1 p.m. in the County Boardroom, Room 569, County Building, 118 North Clark Street, Chicago, Illinois, for the presentation of the message of the President to the Forest Preserve District of Cook County Board of Commissioners submitting the executive budget for fiscal year 2013. Very truly yours, Matthew B. DeLeon, Secretary to the Board.
Thank you. So good afternoon, everyone. Before I begin, I want to thank Superintendent Randall and his staff for the great work they've done over this last year and the last several years. I'm grateful to all of them. The Forest Preserve District of Cook County was established nearly 100 years ago by a group of civic leaders who understood the incredible value that natural lands have to offer in an urban environment. They had the foresight to secure this land and to create a Forest Preserve District, the first of its kind in the country, charged with protecting and preserving it for the education, pleasure, and recreation of the people of Cook County and our visitors. As the county has grown and become more developed over the past century, the open spaces of the forest preserves have become even more important. Our lands serve as a gateway from the urban and suburban environments where we live and work to the vibrant natural area that's filled with life. Moreover, the wildlife preservation and environmental protection work of the forest preserves is essential to maintaining and enhancing our region's native biodiversity and health in the face of increasing urbanization, habitat loss, environmental pollution, and the introduction and spread of invasive plant species. Our lands comprise the largest clean air resource in the region, cleansing and cooling the air we breathe. The forest preserves are also the region's greatest rainwater retainer, absorbing, cleaning, and evaporating hundreds of millions of gallons of rainwater that fall in the county each year, protecting hundreds of thousands of homes and businesses from flooding. I firmly believe that the forest preserves are the pride of Cook County and improve the lives for all of our residents. Today, it's a great honor and privilege to have the responsibility to carry out the mission of conservation and preservation which our founders articulated nearly a century ago. Before I talk about the goals and details of the 2013 budget, I'd like to take a moment to reflect on this past year and to congratulate General Superintendent Arnold Randall and his staff on a number of important achievements that will set the stage for a successful year ahead. In July, Governor Pat Quinn signed legislation allowing the district to establish provisions to address the underuse of minority and women-owned businesses with respect to construction and procurement contracts with the Forest Preserve District. This new legislation brings us in line with other local governments and will significantly benefit the residents of our county by increasing the pool of qualified minority, women-owned businesses that have the opportunity to be selected for contracts awarded by the district each year. This was an effort that was near and dear to my heart, and I'm pleased that we were able to make it a reality. Special thanks to Derek Blada and our Intergovernmental Affairs staff for their good work in Springfield. In June, the district's fiscal responsibility and sound financial decision-making earned it a credit rating upgrade. Combined with favorable borrowing conditions in the market, this allowed the district to refinance and issue new bonds for the first time in 8 years, receiving $110 million in new project proceeds at the lowest cost of debt issuance in our history. In addition to providing much-needed capital project and land acquisition funds for the district, a portion of the proceeds were designated for capital projects at the Brookfield Zoo and the Chicago Botanic Garden, two of our most important cultural institutions in the region. While this municipal bond money represents a tremendous opportunity for us to reinvest in the future, we recognize that any spending must take place within the context of a larger strategic framework. Through careful planning, we will be spending the bond proceeds in a way that strikes a balance between acquiring and restoring our new natural areas, investing in infrastructure to hold down the long-term maintenance costs, and adding new mission-compatible recreational opportunities for our growing user base. To help us do this, we've spent the last year working on a series of master plans which will guide our efforts, and the use of these proceeds, that is our bond proceeds, moving forward. These include a land acquisition plan, which you received last month, a camping master plan, which will be finalized in November, and our recreation master plan, which will identify opportunities for compatible recreation, which you'll see early next year. Can you tell that our general superintendent comes from a planning background? The 2013 through 17 capital improvement plan, which will outline the use of all these proceeds, is a separate document from this operating budget, and you will see it later this year. However, it's important to note that the bond transaction was budget neutral and did not result in any tax increase for the residents of Cook County. In 2012, we're also planning our centennial efforts, which I understand are going to go on for 3 years, which will serve as a platform to attract new audiences to our land, increase volunteerism, generate new sources of non-tax revenue, and honor those who had the foresight to establish the district and guide it through its first 100 years. The centennial, which will begin next year and run through 2015, will focus on families and children from early childhood through the teen years, introducing greater numbers to the incredible natural, educational, and recreational opportunities that surround them. It will also establish the Forest Preserve as a leader and an innovator in the fields of conservation, environmental education, and outdoor recreation. I'll be sharing more details about our plans for the centennial with you in the coming months. Bless you. Our 2013 goals build on the important work we've done in 2012, and I'm pleased today to submit my 2013 executive budget recommendations to the Board of Commissioners of the Forest Preserve District of Cook County. I believe that this budget builds on our strong foundation of fiscal stability, allowing the Forest Preserve District to continue to become a stronger, more transparent, and accountable government agency, while also showing responsibility in ensuring that it has the resources necessary to fulfill its important mission for the next 100 years and beyond. Let me put our budget recommendations into context by first highlighting the Forest Preserve District's major objectives for fiscal year 2013, each of which focus on preparing our organization for the next century. So the district will restore our most precious natural forests, savannas, prairies, and continue to acquire new lands to move us closer to our statutory limit of 75,000 acres. This is the heart and soul of what a Forest Preserve District does, and it will continue to be our highest priority in the year ahead. Create a foundation for long-term fiscal security by creating efficiencies, enacting user fee increases, and avoiding quick fixes in favor of responsible and sustainable spending. Become a more effective government agency by increasing transparency in our budgeting process and making adjustments to our staffing levels to accurately address current needs, and and finally, increase our focus on community engagement and outreach, ensuring that even more of our citizens have the opportunity to experience the wonders of the forest preserves for themselves. With these objectives in mind, the 2013 budget recommendation is $190 million and is balanced without raising property taxes. Again, without raising property taxes. The corporate fund, also known as the district's general operating fund, stands at $52 million and supports each of 10 departments and their services to the public, as well as district-wide expenses and a $1 million transfer to the capital improvement fund. Previous year's budgets included large one-time transfers from the corporate fund for construction and development and land acquisition. For 23rd, changes in all of these funds and in the bond and interest fund reflect the fact that the district's recent bond transaction reduced the need for annual pay-as-you-go capital, resulting in a $3 million savings to the operating budget. The district also anticipates that several long-pending legal cases, including Shackman litigation, will conclude shortly in our favor. Amen. The reduced costs will be funded out of the self-insurance fund, allowing for an additional $3 million in operating budget savings. The budget recommendation also includes contributions of $14.9 million, almost $15 million to Brookfield Zoo, and $9.3 million to the Chicago Botanic Garden, two of the most important institutions in the entire region and indeed in the entire country. There are a number of format changes to this year's budget recommendation intended to increase its readability and transparency. For the first time in this document, you can find detailed prior year expenses for each budgeted line item, allowing taxpayers the opportunity, not to mention commissioners, to compare the budget to actual expenditures. In prior years, the fee schedules did not clearly show the total cost to permit holders. Now the fee schedule is more transparent and shows the true cost of obtaining a permit for events on the district's lands. And finally, the unique maintenance operations of the district are more clearly detailed by showing budgeted personnel and expenditures for landscape maintenance and facilities and fleet maintenance as separate departmental sections. Several operational positions were eliminated from the budget as other means of providing services were developed, such as replacing an internal auditor with additional services from the Inspector General's office. Additional critical positions were created for new programs, including a contract compliance administrator to ensure the integrity and accountability of the district's new minority and women-owned business enterprise program. The district will also invest in its concession program by hiring a new concession manager in 2013. This person will be charged with enhancing the quality of our food and recreation vendors, as well as expanding and increasing the profitability of the overall concession program. And while one new project manager position was added to assist with overseeing the new bond-funded capital projects, we anticipate that each of these additional positions will be covered from interest earnings on the bond proceeds. In total, the 2013 budget recommendation shows a full-time staff headcount that is increased by only 3 positions. The 2013 budget recommendation also projects savings from new collaborations with Cook County governments to provide administrative services more efficiently and effectively than either organization could do on its own. Examples include coordination and cooperation in benefits management, increased audit and review services from the Office of the Inspector General, public safety communication systems, and contract compliance administration. All of these structural improvements are critical, in large part because they help us to do a better job at fulfilling our mission of restoring and preserving natural lands. Lands within the Forest Preserve District of Cook County are among the most geologically unique and biologically rich in the United States. Through the forest preserves, our residents have access to countless habitats, including bogs, artesian fens, ancient lake plain prairies, wooded swamps, tallgrass prairies, oak woodlands, savannas, and more. We are committed to ensuring that these natural assets of our county are available to future generations. To that end, in 2013, we will provide the same levels of maintenance and service for our natural resource management as we did in 2012, but we will improve how we do it. We will decrease private contract costs and part-time seasonal staff for improved, and add part-time and seasonal staff for improved natural resource management. The combination of hiring lower-cost staff and enhancing our volunteer stewardship program will allow us to be more effective in this important work, and will also better fit the seasonal nature of the job. This is yet another example of how the district continually shows leadership in working to reduce the cost of government while enhancing the services we provide. Similarly, we are adding additional part-time and seasonal staff for improved and enhanced recreation and outreach programs. These new outreach efforts will include one-on-one targeted coordination with community groups, churches, not-for-profits, and other organizations to attract new users from all areas of the county, and to equip them with the tools and knowledge to become frequent visitors to our preserves. We'll also be adding more special events, like those we piloted this summer, including canoeing and paddling outings, films in the forest and forest jams, and other forest-friendly, family-friendly, and educational offerings. In 2013, we will begin to implement the first phases of our recreation and camping master plans, both of which will be completed and submitted to this board shortly. We believe that this mission-compatible recreation, such as camping, trails, fishing, and even nature play, is a critically important way that we can introduce more of our residents to the benefits of nature and hopefully foster a lifetime love of the outdoors. I want to stress that adding these additional recreational opportunities will in no way diminish our commitment to preserving our county's incredible natural resources, and that these opportunities will not come at the expense of ecology and our natural resources. In total, the district is adding the equivalent of 13 full-time staff through part-time and seasonal positions to support all of these restoration and recreation programs. In addition, we're constantly striving to reduce the cost while increasing the effectiveness of the Forest Preserve District, and working on behalf of taxpayers to keep property taxes flat, focusing instead on increasing non-tax revenues. In 2013, the district is adjusting user fees for the first time in 7 years. These adjustments will bring the district's rates for picnic permits, special events, and athletic field rentals in line with the fees charged by other local Forest Preserve districts and park districts in the region. All rates will remain discounted for children, families, seniors, and not-for-profit groups. For example, this means that the cost of a typical family picnic in 2013 will increase from $35 to $37. Permits for larger groups of more than 1,000 participants will see more substantial rate increases, moving from $760 to $960 to reflect the larger impact on our lands and the greater staff resources required. To put this into context, so far in 2012, we've sold 6,000 permits for groups smaller than 100 and 21 for groups of more than 1,000. Again, even with these increases, the Forest Preserve District remains extremely competitive with our peers in the area. The budget also recommends that golf rates, which have remained exactly the same for the past 5 years, Tim Schneider, increase at $1. Increase $1 at 9 out of our 10 courses. The 10th course, George Dunn, will see an increase of $2. In addition to increases in our user fees, we anticipate higher revenues from strengthened ordinance enforcement and increased investment income from better treasury management. Finally, the district will begin charging for parking where property is used by outside vehicles, such as fleet vehicles from other units of government, commuters, and local commercial traffic. In total, the district anticipates non-tax revenues will increase by 6%. In balancing the 2013 budget, the district is avoiding one-time fixes by spending down fund balances in a responsible, measured way that meets its minimum fund balance requirements, maintains its strong liquidity, and does not contribute to future deficits. For example, the 2012 budget was balanced with an $8 million appropriated from the district's corporate fund balance. In 2013, this amount is less than $2 million. This is just one more example of how we are continually managing our finances with an eye towards sustaining and building our fiscal strength to support ongoing operations. The importance of a strong and vibrant Forest Preserve District is perfectly illustrated by another high point of 2012. In the spring, we announced the presence of a bald eagle's nest in Tampere Slough in Palos. Believed to be the first, swamp is good enough for me, but anyway, believed to be the first verifiable site where eagle eggs have been laid and hatched in Cook County in more than a century. These birds have an incredible impact on the people of this county. Through the spring and summer months, thousands of people have lined up along 131st Street to get a glimpse of the family. It also generated national attention and media coverage. The fact that bald eagles have chosen to nest here is a testament to the success of our Forest Preserve District, and it shows that we have achieved a healthy, biodiverse ecosystem in this area and have had a positive impact on our wildlife. We expect these birds to be migrating shortly, but we hope they'll return next year and again in the future. In May, this board passed a resolution celebrating the permanent return, hopefully, of the bald eagle to Cook County, along with the inspiration and joy these eagles bring to us. This is why the work of the Forest Preserve District, now and in the future, is so important. And it's why I'm pleased to be submitting this 2013 budget recommendation, which will continue to build on the solid foundation needed for the Forest Preserve District to thrive for another 100 years and beyond. Thank you. All right. Okay. Commissioner Steele, I believe you're the person who is making these motions?
Yes. Thank you, Madam President. Madam President, pursuant to the Forest Preserve District of Cook County Code, I move that the 2013 executive budget for the Forest Preserve District of Cook County, as submitted by the Office of the President, be referred to the Committee on Finance.
It's been moved by Commissioner Steele and seconded by Commissioner Garcia that the executive budget for the Forest Preserve District for 2013 be referred to the Committee on Finance. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it. Would the clerk please add Commissioners Butler, Commissioner Murphy, Commissioner Sims to the roll call? And I believe the motion is to recess and not adjourn. Commissioner Steele?
No, she does that. You do it, Madam President. You do
Yes.
it. You do it. You have to recess.
Oh, okay. All right. So there's not a motion that's required? All right. This meeting is recessed to the call of the chair. Thank you all.
Good afternoon. The Finance Committee of the Forest Preserve District of Cook County Board of Commissioners will now come to order. Will the Secretary please call the roll?
Commissioner Beavers? Here. Commissioner Butler? Here. Commissioner Collins is absent. Commissioner Daly? Here. Commissioner Fritchie is absent. Commissioner Gaynor? Here. Commissioner Garcia? Here. Commissioner Gorman? Here. Commissioner Murphy? Here. Commissioner Reyes? Here. Commissioner Schneider? Here. Commissioner Silvestri is absent. Commissioner Sims? Here. Vice Chairman Steele? Here. Commissioner Suffredin is absent. Commissioner Tobolski? Here. Chairman Goslin is absent. Mr. Chairman, you have a quorum.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Will you please read the notice into the record?
There will be a special meeting of the Finance Committee of the Forest Preserve District of Cook County Board of Commissioners on Thursday, October 18th, 2012, at the hour of 1:15 p.m. in the boardroom, room 569, County Building, 118 North Clark Street, Chicago, Illinois, to consider the 2013 executive budget being made available for public inspection and the schedule of meetings for the purpose of conducting hearings on said budget. Additional information about the proposed 2013 budget recommendation is available at www.fpdcc.com.
We have prepared a timetable for the process of adopting the 2013 appropriation ordinance that we believe will permit us to complete the proceedings in a fair and timely manner. In the interest of allowing for an open process with an ample opportunity for public involvement, we have scheduled 3 public hearings at locations within the county. To provide the members of the Finance Committee with an opportunity to present questions about this budget, we have scheduled a budget review hearing with the General Superintendent, department heads, and the Chicago Botanic Gardens and the Brookfield Zoo. The Secretary, will you please read the proposed times and dates for the public hearings into the record?
The Finance Committee of the Forest Preserve District of Cook County Board of Commissioners has scheduled the meetings listed below for the purpose of conducting public hearings on the proposed 2013 executive budget. Thursday, October 25th, 2012, at 6 p.m., 2nd District Courthouse, 5600 Old Orchard Road, Conference Room 201 in Skokie, Illinois. Tuesday, October 30th, 2012, 6 p.m., 6th District Courthouse, 16501 South Kedzie Parkway, Courtroom 098 in Markham, Illinois. And Tuesday, November 27th, 2012, at 10 a.m., in the Cook County Building, 118 North Clark Street, Boardroom, Room 569, Chicago, Illinois. The public may testify at these meetings. Persons wishing to testify should go to the Secretary to the Board website at www.cookcountyil.gov/secretary to register as a public speaker. You may also register over the telephone at 312-603-6127 or in person at 118 North Clark Street, room 436, Chicago, Illinois. You can register at any of the locations listed above at the time of the meeting. Each organization will be limited to one speaker. Each speaker will be limited to 3 minutes. Speakers are requested to submit 30 copies of any written statement to the committee prior to speaking.
Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, thank you. I move the adoption of the hearing schedule as read by the Secretary.
No.
I believe, Mr. Chairman, we have one more date to announce. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Mr. Secretary, can you please announce the date and time of the departmental budget review?
The departmental hearings will be Thursday, November 27th, 2012 at the hour of 1 p.m.
Mr. Chairman.
Go ahead, Commissioner Garcia.
I move the adoption of the hearing schedule as read by the Secretary.
It has been moved by Commissioner Garcia, seconded by Commissioner Daly, to adopt the hearing schedule as read by the Secretary. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, nay. The motion has been carried. The committee will stand in recess to the hour of 6 o'clock p.m. on Thursday, October 25th, 2012, with the interim proceedings of this committee now notwithstanding. Thank you, everyone.